containing again, going through one side to the other. I also want to show the pinch. This is fitting in. So there's really not a lot of extraneous stuff here. Everything is directed to taking and communicating what the figure is doing, both two-dimensionally and three-dimensionally. Back down, the other leg now, and go over the surface. And we can really feel where it's pulling from here now. This leg is actually lifted slightly up off the surface, I believe. Coming in, going back. This is a cylinder. Notice I've changed the placement. Doesn't matter. It's going over surface. As I come down, I want to feel the other foot pulling through. Going across. We move down, going over. Now, the pace that I'm taking and going through with this drawing would be about a 5-minute pose. I'm not paying any attention to any kind of time or clock because I'm trying to take and explain as clearly as I can what I'm going through as I'm doing this drawing. So, in many respects, this is absolutely no different than if I was taking and doing a large format drawing, double this size, and was doing it for an hour. I would be taking and starting out precisely the same way, because no matter how long a pose is, the critical part is still taking and capturing the action and creating the experience that I am seeing and feeling while I'm looking at the pose. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, this next drawing is really, we're taking a variation on this pose that we started with here. And it's just a little more extreme. So as I start this, now I'm taking and thinking, okay, here we have a situation where she's really, really leaning over. So I'm going to go back to what, in a sense, what I'm doing here in the earlier drawings by taking and I want to really feel this as a strong movement. It's really a pull coming across. So now I see how I'm leading the eye. I want to feel this coming over. At the same time here, I'm taking and going around that surface, coming down, pushing through, going across, and going over that, pull through, and then the leg is going up. We're going over, in, we're coming down, through the leg, that the shoulder is coming forward, but it's high, it's up here, it's high. Taking, I want to feel the full flow, or I should say flow of how this is going. Okay, now, okay, at that point, now I can go back in. I want to say, all right, I'm feeling the stretch. The stretch in here. And now she's actually slightly turned. So I look at now as I look at the drawing a little bit more. I said, well, that's not really a good representation. She's actually sort of tilting in that way. I need to feel that direction. So now I'm thinking, okay, we got the rib cage. Come through, coming in here. And it's not, a rib cage is not always perfectly round. There is flexibility to it. It can do that. But what I try to avoid, you notice if I do lines like that, it actually conveys movement aside. It's not containing. When I draw this line becomes something over here. It's not containing. Containing, I have to use lines that are going to take and imply the completion of the form. So even as I'm taking, the rib cage may actually be more flexible. I want to take and use lines that are taking and containing. I'm thinking of the center, and coming through. Now a lead pull across the pelvis is taking, this is a form that is actually going across. Notice what I'm doing here is I'm taking and we got across the bottom. This is the equivalent of taking and drawing a box type form. This has thickness going across through the figure this way. So I'm coming in, and as you look at the tones on the photograph there, you will see that we have a very clear-cut side to the form. That gives you a sense of dimension. Here, through, going over, in, the leg is going in, going over the surface, going in. So now it's a different kind of pose. Now the same, just a variation. Now she's just moved back, so we really feel this. So as I'm drawing this now, I want to take and be conscious of the fact that there's a stretching that's taking place. This is, I'm really pulling, it's coming across, and it would actually take and start to working with lines that are going over the surface, coming in, and also at the same time, thinking of the sacrum down here, think of the spine coming through and pushing. Now, I don't see that. See, I don't see that in the model. But I feel it. And I'm coming through, and I'm going to take and feel the line of the rib cage. So now I'm emphasizing lines that are creating the feeling for the action, feeling the gesture that go beyond what it is that I actually see. So in the same breath now, we can take and we push the spine, pushing up, and I'm using the scapula now coming across, and I'm forcing that line, and I'll come up here, and I'm going to hit here. So now I'm pushing like the corners of a box. I'm hitting the symmetry in the form. Now we pull it through, we can feel that the trapezius muscles, they come off of the neck cylinder. I'm pulling this out. I mean, at the end of the scapula, the square, and we can feel the pull. And the pecs pulling off of but actually this would be the teres major. And possibly the latissimus coming across. Then we start to pull into this. So you can feel right here, and I would be constantly trying to emphasize this movement as it pulls across and picking up lines that are going to carry through and emphasizing going over the surface. The arm, I would be feeling the natural rhythm. Notice I'm using the pencil, I'm pushing the line instead of pulling the line.